Due to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
To the west of the great continent of Kern lies the island provinces of Perth, home to brave seafarers, exotic pleasures, storms of swirling magical energy, and cults dedicated to the old gods. Upon these white sands came the Eve's Watch, a band of sellswords and brutes seeking their fortune upon the shores of these lands. Let me tell you of this age of legends, for I and I alone am keeper of their saga. This is their chronicle.
The apes are now in the first floor. Initiative is with Lovak now, correct?
I'm getting frustrated with this. He's going to look over at Jeel going, take my back. And he's heading for the stairs going upstairs. He's going to go into a run and throw a shoulder into that door. As he does so, he's going to call forth one of his abilities as an Azamar and call forth a necrotic shroud.
What does that do?
It is going to manifest bony and bat-like spectral wings. Everything within 10-foot radius of me has to make a charisma saving throw of 14 or be frightened, the frightened condition.
You're going to be in 10 feet, Jeel?
I already moved. My action already happened. But I don't know what the top of the stairs is to where I'm at.
Because watching a frightened 8'8" Balrakian would be quite comical.
Am I within that 10 feet?
Well, if he doesn't cast it till he's on the roof, most
your turn.
floors are
Yeah, I'm
10
casting
feet
it
high.
as I'm blasting through, so
Okay.
you're probably still at the bottom of the stairs.
The hatchway bursts open easily. The hatch actually fragmenting as you appear on the roof. These bat-like, bony, spectral wings expanding as you drag your body through the hatchway. Strong arms grasping at you. There's apes on the roof. You said the target 14?
Correct. And then I'll interact with objects and draw my swords.
As you exit the hatchway, fragments of wood rolling off your shoulders, you stand there in all your celestial glory. And the apes on the roof begin to circle you, beating the floor, and then there's a wave of fear that overcomes them, and they bellow and growl and thump their chests and leap off the roof to nearby roofs. There is a clamor from downstairs as the apes enter the downstairs and hit the ball bearings.
Cue Betty Hill music.
One of them charges up the stairs from the first floor.
Wasn't Jeel sitting at the top of the stairs with a held
Jeel is
action?
sitting on the top of the stairs with a held action.
Yep. And he's going to attack him.
When it's his turn.
Held action.
He held his action.
Oh,
And I will recklessly attack him. Natural 20.
Guess he's heading back down the stairs.
18 points.
The ape, which is smaller than you by almost 3 feet, comes charging up the stairs at you. You cock back your maul in pool cue fashion and drive the head of it into its chest, knocking it back down the stairs, coasting along the ball bearings, striking the stairs as it falls awkwardly down there. What's your damage?
18.
cool.
Is Ku aware of the plan to head upstairs?
As I saw him go up, I would have said, I will say, everybody run up the stairs.
Okay.
The way is free.
Ku will make his way up the stairs, and he will make his way into Lovak's shroud, which he would then have to make a
DC 14.
DC
Charisma
14
save.
charisma. Ku has advantage against the frightened condition, and he failed.
You enter the roof with Lovak and have never seen him quite like this. He is terrifying and otherworldly. For a moment, you fall back on your behind and just stare. Next.
And that's disadvantage with attacks,
Correct. Disadvantage on attacks while the source of your fear is visible.
and I can make DC saves at the beginning of my turns.
Yes.
You also can't willingly move closer to him.
I don't think I want to right now.
Tuco next. Tuco heard the command, turned to go up the stairs, could see Ku go up the stairs and fall directly on his ass, and is now thinking better of this plan. Can I see from the bottom of the stairs up through the hatchway that my companion has a visibly different look?
You can see the back of his boots and the back of his legs. in what looks like some floating.
Yeah, he goes up. I mean,
Bones.
that just, I don't see enough to discourage me from going up. So I'm saving DC 14 charisma. That's not going to go good. Rolled a 16 minus 1. So up he goes, and he's now standing. I was at the front of the building. I make it to the stairs. I make it up the stairs. Am I standing, like, do I have enough movement to get anywhere past the top of the stairs?
Yes.
When I do see the full visage, the full regalia that my friend Lovak is in now, I'm not officially scared, but I'm definitely a little scared. And so I move away, like I'm moving towards the corner of the building. But I can only get so far, 35 feet. Well, let's see. I ran up, I got scared, I interact with object, switch weapon. End of my turn. Then we get to 5 is Shynn.
I got a block cage in front of me. Everybody's heading that way. Do the exact same thing I did last time. Use movement to get to the pile of bombs, grab a strychnine, light it, back to the window, throw it out.
There's grasping arms coming in through the window.
Everybody's heading the other way. Oh, that's a double. Not a good enough one, though. It's a 12.
The strychnine bomb goes off, crashing against the grasping arms as it shatters and the room begins to fill with a strychnine gas.
I use the rest of my movement to go back to the pile of bombs, and I do not breathe. I hold my breath, keep my mouth closed.
Mule and Jeel.
Jeel's going to hold his action until everybody gets up the stairs, and then I will move my way up.
I will also not be breathing, therefore I will not be casting any spells that require verbal components. I get a whiff of that strychnine, and it smells a lot stronger than it did last time. So I'll move to the stairs, look up. I see him standing there shrouded, but at this point I really have no choice. I was hoping to wait till he cleared the stairs, but I'm going up because it's getting noxious down here. I'll move up. I will make my saving throw. That is a 9. That is my best save, by the way. In my shaken fashion, I will move to where Tuco is standing, casting furtive glances over my shoulder at Lovak. So,
Frightened.
that's it for me.
As Lovak stands there, seeming darker and darker with every passing second.
Lovak.
We need to head northeast, so I'm going to head to either the north or the east side of the building. Hopefully the aura will clear its well 10 foot radius, so it's even going to go 10 foot down. We're 2 stories up.
Yes.
I'm going to look back at the party. Follow me. My eyes are completely black. There's like a dark mist that seems to fall out of my mouth as I speak.
I can't.
You don't have a choice. And I'm going to put a hand over on the railing, swing over, hang for a moment, and drop.
And you drop to the street below. The front or the back?
Whichever is eastward facing.
That would be the back. Lovak disappears over the back side of the building, leaving a wisp of dark, ethereal smoke.
I feel much better now.
Is there anything in front of me while I drop? I'm going to take a swing.
There's a lot of things down there. Not as many as there are in the front, but a good deal of them in the back,
They have to be within 10 feet of me. So if they all backed off, I mean, I'll close.
which they do. The minute your boots touch the ground, they begin to encircle you 10 feet away from you, thumping the ground and posturing, but doing so nervously.
Don't know how much movement I use dropping 20 feet, but I will use at least half a move to surge forward and take a couple swings at one of them. That's going to, well, the worst of the rolls are going to be a 14 and 17.
17 hits.
That's going to be for 11 points damage. And I will add that D4 necrotic damage to that swing. Actually, no, it's just an automatic 5 points. It'll go to 16 points.
You take 6 points of damage with the landing, which was a bit awkward.
Don't his wings offer him some?
No.
They're decorative.
Back to the top. Gia?
The apes in the narrow street that you landed in continue to circle around you, beating the ground fiercely, and their chests, but there's no confidence in that. More apes begin piling up the stairs, Jeel, towards you. One grasps at you, still 14, and grapples you.
Is that an opposed roll?
Yep.
8.
The ape picks you up and wraps its huge arms around you and begins to squeeze. More apes pour in through the windows down below, and the building shudders, and you can feel it beginning to dip to one side. The apes on the roof begin pouring into the street, jumping down, posturing, beating their hands fiercely against the city streets, and there is a hailstorm of sticks and branches and skulls and rocks, and even a statue's head rolls by Lovak's feet. Lovak, you're peppered with small objects, taking 2 points of damage from branches and small rocks. That's the end of my turn.
Cool.
I'm frightened, but I can make a save.
Yeah, I believe it's at the end of your turn.
Oh, it's at the end of my turn. So
Yes.
the question I have is, would I get advantage or not? I have
well, you-
advantage against being frightened.
So yeah.
Okay,
Yes, I would say yes. It's only disadvantage on attack rolls.
Attack. So yeah. So
And
yeah,
actually, you don't currently have disadvantage on attack rolls because the source of your fear is not visible. However, you cannot willingly move closer to him because that's part of the frightened condition.
Are there any apes up on the roof?
Not on your roof. The roofs adjacent to you have cleared off. They're beginning to pour into the street where Lovak is.
I'm going to go into my pack, pull out a flask of oil. I'm going to tear some cloth from my shirt. I'm going to stuff it into the flask of oil, and that would count as my action, I think. And then I'm going to attempt to make my save. No. Still frightened.
Next is Tuco. Tuco turns to his good friend Moulet. He said we should follow him.
I don't feel capable of doing so.
You want some help? And he doesn't listen for an answer. And he attempts to snatch Moulet around the waist.
I'll let you.
He's now got Moulet under one arm. And while he's aware that his fine young friend Ku has his pack, he's just shutting his pack and he's got like a rag and a flask of oil, he's still going to snatch him by the back of the shirt as he runs by.
Just for the record, I am older than you. I'm older than all of us.
His old friend, Ku, he's going to try to snatch him by the back of the shirt as he runs by.
I will say, as I'm being carried, don't forget Jeel.
You can't save everybody.
Did you hear? Fuck you!
He is. Roll a persuasion, please. I know I'm not the GM. Sorry. I want to see if I'm persuaded. I like Moulet. He's a good guy. He's creepy, but we're all a little creepy.
Nat 20. That's a 23.
Oh, fuck. So I drop Moulet right where he is. We're standing right next to Ku. Boom. Fucking. Fuck. And moving down the stairs. And that's my turn. That's Tuco.
into the smoke-filled room.
Into the smoke-filled room.
Don't forget to hold your breath.
Good. Yeah. Okay. 5 is Shynn.
Still in the smoke-filled room, while Jeel is wrestling with a gorilla. Get out!
What are you gonna do? I can't wait.
Do you breathe?
No.
No? No, why are you holding your breath then?
So I can still talk.
He breathes, but
I
only
can
to
still use the
Bobo.
the
Yeah.
air in my lungs to talk at least once, but I don't need to for this one. So as I run back towards the stairs, I'm going to grab one of the smoke grenades and then, using my dagger as a component, stab into the back of the ape as I'm going by.
Are you going to leave the dagger there? Or are you
No, I'm
going
going
to
to keep the dagger with me, but I need to do that in order to make it work.
Okay.
Is this the ape that has Jeel grappled?
Yes. And that is a 16. Is there any other ape within 5 feet of that spot?
Jeel.
There's one coming up the stairs. The stairs are broad, but they're not broad enough to facilitate more than one ape on the stair.
Oh, entirely. Okay.
What do you do with your rope? You had a rope that was on fire.
It's like it's on the ground burning. I left
Still,
it there
you
next
left
to.
it
I left it there next to the other strychnine bomb and the other smoke bomb.
Slow burning wick.
And you do have to speak if you're casting Green Flame Blade.
No.
VM.
SM. Somatic.
What? Green Flame Blade? You show us SM?
Right here, SM. That's what the computer that printed out my thing told me.
Weird. Okay, never mind. My spell card says VM, so.
But he does have one lung full of breath either way. So.
Yeah.
So roll your damage.
3, 6, 7.
7 points of damage.
And I don't have another target for the green ball.
For a moment, you're watching Shynn as Jeel's on top, and then the ape's on top, and then Jeel's on top, and then the ape's on top. And you're kind of doing this awkward dance, waiting for the right moment for when the ape's on top. As you drive your blade down into its back, it bursts into a green flame that, as it descends upon the back of the ape, turns into a bright crimson red, and you plunge it into the back of the ape that's on top of Jeel. The one that's coming up the stairs you asked about?
Yeah, only if he's in within 5 feet.
He is not.
So
The
there
ape
is no-
bellows in pain as the blade goes in and then comes out. What are you going to do now?
I use the rest of my movement to get to the top of the stairs, so I'm looking down at the battle going on and hold there and to turn.
So you're looking down at the battle going on between Jeel and the ape.
Yep.
So you gave your parting shot and it bounced. Good luck, dude. I helped.
If I bounced, I'd be on the roof.
And you did pass Tuco on the way down.
Oh no, I don't go to the roof. I go to the top of
Right,
the
but-
staircase that he's fighting on.
And he's heading down.
Tuco's on the way down those stairs.
Okay,
right
no
now.
problem.
Oh, Jeel's not on a staircase. He's rolling around in that big room.
That was 4 is Moulet and Jeel.
The spell card was wrong.
So we're grappled.
You are grappled.
How are we grappled? Standing?
You're rolling around. You're on top. The ape's on top. You're on top. The ape's on
I'm
top.
going to try to position myself to break the grapple, but use my legs to push them off me and down the stairs.
Okay, so if you an opposing grapple.
9. Now say, get off me, you damn dirty ape.
Seems you just can't get that monkey off your back.
You manage to power yourself up to a standing position and with all your might try to break the grip. The ape is much stronger than you thought, and it grabs you and slams you against the wall, breaking the grapple. Takes 7 points of damage, and it reaches in for a bite. Big fangs like daggers and hot, smelly breath. This maw that's open wide goes straight for your neck.
I turtle up.
You shrug your shoulders and drop down, and the thing plants its face directly into the wall behind you.
Next.
Me,
Too
I
late.
believe. I will get myself up off the ground where Tico dropped me, move to the top of the stairs, and look down. Can I see Jeel and the ape battling it out here in the room from the top of the stairs?
Not in their entirety. You could see there's a lot of movement down there. There's that kind of acidic taste of strychnine smoke that's beginning to fill the room.
Great. Not enough of a target for a spell, really, against
No.
the ape. Tico's heading down there. I'm sure he'll take care of it. I will walk over to the edge of the roof where... Oh, actually, no, I won't. I turn with the intention of walking over to the edge of the roof where Lovak disappeared off from, and I find that I cannot move. I cannot force myself to move closer to the edge of the roof.
You do see Ku holding a flask of oil with cloth in it.
Okay, I understand that, but I'm not sure what your total intentions were for that, so I'm just going to let you take care of
Okay.
it.
Since he's guessed wrong a few times already.
yeah, I'm not gonna guess at your intentions.
Actually, it's best that you don't, because this is the 6-second span before the next 6-second span.
I don't want to light that and have you be like, ah! Are there apes visible on the roofs at all around me?
There's some, but not many. They're starting to move their way down the sides of the buildings.
Are there any within 120 feet?
Oh, yes.
I'm really pissed off that I can't move closer to where I want to go, so I'm going to double Eldritch Blast at one that's nearby. Very angry energy exploding here. Okay, well that's a 10 and a 23.
The 23 hits.
Glad I get 2 blasts every time. That is 8 points of force damage.
You unleash a bolt of universal energy from this deep, dark place, and it streaks down and strikes one of the apes, causing it to howl in pain and beat at its shoulder.
I grin. And then I end my turn.
Lovak.
Oh, my saving throw. Right. Hold
Yes.
on. Let me make that saving throw.
Please do.
8.
Or not. So that was your best stat, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to be clear on that. Well, since I charged to one side of the group, I'm going to suddenly spin about and charge forward and take a swing at the opposite side, because I don't think they're going to expect something like that. It's going to get one of these dice to do something decent for once. Nope, I'm going to miss. And then frustration, I'm going to hold a hand up and cast Scorching Ray down the middle of the street at what the last thing I can see off in the distance. 3 different targets, and I'm going to unleash all 3 bolts that direction.
Did you just attack?
Yes.
You can't attack.
Oh, can't and
You
spell?
can't attack and then
Oh.
Scorching Ray.
Well, I get 2 attacks. No,
You
I
get 2
melee
attacks
Right.
when you take the attack action, but if you took the attack action, you can't also make a spell attack.
Ah, okay, all right. I got that. I got that wrong. Then never mind. If I miss, then I'm going to take a second swing at the one I'm standing in front of. That one should hit. That's going to be a 19? 20.
That'll work.
And that's 10 points damage.
2 points of damage. Drops one in front of you as you plunge your sword into its belly, spilling entrails on the city streets.
I can take a bonus action though, yes?
Yes.
Take a bonus action, and I'm going to turn that swing into a thunderous smite. It's going to do an additional 2d6 damage and push my target back 10 feet, letting off a thunderclap that goes off 300 feet. So it's going to be additional 10 points damage. I know he's already dead, but I'm going for the effect. I'm trying to clear the street. So both halves will fly down the street, 10 feet each. And with the frightened condition in play, hopefully a thunderous boom will reinforce.
There is a mighty swing of your blade down on the pointed skull of this ape in front of you, splitting its skull in half, spraying gore and brain matter all over your armor. The thing drops to the ground, but then there's this clap of thunder, like the sky opening up. The sound on the streets, that clamor, that whooping, that growling stops, and they begin to flee in different directions.
I'm going to let out a primordial scream. Just...
I'm frightened.
Same.
So is it melee?
Yep. Still frightened.
At least we're not pinned against the wall by an ape.
In strychnine.
Breathing in that sweet, sweet strychnine.
In minuscule sizes.
Doses.
Doses.
In the year 2014, a new squad of operatives was chosen by the College of Illusion. These fools promptly went on to frustrate their DM at every opportunity. Today, still working together, because really, who else would work with them? They survive as adventurers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the Second Breakfast Club.
Tony Kinney as Eddie Falzoni.
Jess Owen as Adira Glow.
Michael Cole as Urag.
Jesse Wicks as Bill Quiverlance. Nico Rodriguez as your DM.
Welcome back to the continuing tales of A Fool's Quest.
GM.
The apes flee in the city streets. We begin pouring out the house. That's my turn.
The one who had... Why? It's not my turn. Why do I care?
Ku takes out his tinderbox, lights his Molotov, and finds a good clump of apes and attempts to throw it at them.
On the front of the building, the apes are milling about. They've stopped pulling at the wall after the thunderclap, and they're kind of nervously doing that sideways ape run that they do, kind of moving back towards the house and then running backwards, moving towards the house and running backward. There's a bunch of them milling around that were trying to pile in that hole that they made.
The thing that sucks about this is I'm at disadvantage.
No, you cannot see him.
You can't see me, so you're at a
Oh,
disadvantage.
You're only
okay.
at disadvantage if you can see him.
Okay,
I
good.
dropped it on the roof.
I will take the 10 over the 3. So it's improvised weapon, or, yeah, so it'd be my dex modifier or my strength
You're
modifier.
throwing it, it'd be a strength.
So it's a 9.
So you throw it down, aiming for an ape. It hits the stone street and bursts into flame. Not hitting any of the apes, but now they're occupied with the flame, moving up, reaching out for it, running back when they realize it's hot, and milling around that, thumping the ground, beating their chests.
So that was interact with object, throw an object, and
Some movement.
I do have some movement.
Yes.
Then I'm going to jump off the roof in the direction that Lovak is in.
You cannot.
You can't willingly move closer to him.
Oh,
Even if you can't see him.
okay.
It's a separate sentence.
You can't even come back to the trap door.
But the thing is I don't know where he is right now.
That's true. It says right. If you're not sure where that's right. You can't willingly move closer.
The last
to
place
him.
he's seen me.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah. So you could.
But you have
yeah.
a saving throw you can make.
Yeah, at the very
At the
end. Yeah.
very end of my turn, which I failed twice at with advantage.
I failed twice with my best saving throw. So.
I will stay on top of the roof. I will make my saving throw. Hopefully. I have made my saving throw with a natural 20. Yay. Actually, no, I'm at natural 20. I'm at advantage.
Next in the initiative is Tuco. Tuco has just taken like half the stairs down, so his head has barely cleared the interior of the building, which is filling with smoke. And Tuco made this smoke. He knows exactly what is happening here. Can he see Jeel and his combatant?
Yeah, it's nearly impossible to miss.
Is the combatant still appearing to engage or attempting to disengage?
Oh, he's engaged. Very engaged with Jeel.
They're engaged?
That was quick.
He tried to kiss you.
I want to make an ugly monkey sex joke reference, but
now while attempting to hold breath, and I'm no underwater breather here, right? I'm an orc, so that's not going to last long. I'm going to move rapidly to the gorilla and attempt to stab it with a rapier. 8 plus 6 is
14.
Does 14 hit?
It's a hit.
And that's a sneak attack. So that's a D8 plus 3d6. 3. 2 more is 7. 2 more is 9.
7.
4 more is 13.
plus 3.
It's 11 because you did 3 plus 2 is 7. So it's 11 points plus your
Math teacher Marcus!
What was the number?
11.
Plus 3.
Plus 3, yes.
14 points of damage. I stabbed that fool with my math.
But more effectively.
But more effectively.
Are you staying for him stabbing your betrothed?
Yes.
Jeel is down on one knee with his back to the wall.
Ring in his hand.
And you drive your rapier all the way up to the hilt through the ape's body. Jeel, from where you are, you see a rapier appear and stop just at the tip of your nose, drawing a very slight drop of blood. And then it's yanked free, and you hear a chuckle. As the ape falls backwards, it lands on the rope that's burning, and you hear the slight tinkling of fragile glass break.
I've used my attack. Can I still interact with object?
Yes.
You weigh 300 pounds?
3 something.
Can he be an object?
Not for you. Well, I don't know.
I can pick up 500 pounds.
It's interact with environment.
Okay. Then I pivot on a heel and say, follow me!
Just as smoke and noxious strychnine smoke begins to billow out from underneath the dead ape.
And I'm using my bonus action dash to get onto the roof. And that's, sorry, that was Tuco. I was so impressed with myself, I didn't stop thinking. 5 is Shynn.
So I'm standing at the top of the staircase going down to the first floor. I could see everything that just went on. You just went running by me for the...
You're at the top of the staircase for the roof.
No, I'm not on the roof.
We were on the second floor.
Yeah, I'm at the top of the staircase looking down at the first floor because you guys were rolling around out there.
My understanding was you came from your room on the second floor, went up one set of
I
stairs.
never went up to the roof.
You went up a set of stairs.
No, I went to the top of the set of stairs looking down.
Misunderstood.
I see. Because that was my understanding. I thought
So he
were...
totally would have been able to see the combat from
Yeah,
the
so
way
I've seen the combat.
I didn't realize that. Okay.
And I just want to make sure of that. So you whiz by me. I'm just going to have to hope he gets out. I race down the stairs to the thickest group of apes. When I get within 5 feet, I thunderstep.
Make a dexterity check once you hit the stairs.
Ball bearings everywhere.
He wasn't there when I reported.
It's a 17 plus 19.
You almost take an epic digger down the stairs. Make it down the stairs, roll a dexterity check.
11.
You take a step, and then you see the tips of your boots parallel with your eyes. You land with a thud, scattering ball bearings, sending them rolling. They're everywhere.
Yep. It cost me more than half to stand up. So I don't care if there's anybody in front of me, around me, or not. I'm thunderstepping from here.
You take 2 points of damage.
With my spot being the spot at the top of the stairs that I can see that's empty.
Spot at the top of the stairs you just went down, or the top of the stairs?
Top of the stairs I
roof?
just went down. I
Okay.
can't see the top of the second flight.
Maybe you could.
And I don't think I can see outside of the hole they made, so I'm going for that. Is there anybody within 10 feet? Oh, there's got to be somebody within 10 feet.
There's a few apes in similar position that you are.
9, 18, 19, 20, 25 points of damage for a fail.
Blown across on top of the ball bearings and slammed into the wall.
Just liquefied some apes.
And the house falls.
That's what I'm expecting.
The house falls, and you just turn all of
I'm in
those
it
ball
too.
bearings into projectiles.
Claymore mines, that's what this is now.
There is this thunderous crack come from the first floor. Before you wink out of existence, Shynn, you see hundreds of ball bearings, maelstrom of ball bearings flying in multiple different directions, tearing through apes and the wall of the building. The building shudders as you appear on the second floor at the top of the stairs, and then it begins to shudder more. Those of you still on the roof, you feel the quaking of the building after the explosion. There are cries of pain coming from the apes outside. It is evident that the structural integrity of the building is failing quickly.
Next is the 2-4s. That's Moulet and Jeel.
I'm gonna go first.
All right. Saving throw, Jeel. You're going first, or is Moulet?
Moulet is.
We'll save that.
Don't worry, I will also be making a saving throw.
We hope.
Yeah, we hope. So I will move. I'm not moving towards where I think he is, but I'll move to the other corner, like kitty corner, to the corner, so I can look down and see whether or not I can see him and where he is. Can I see him from that corner of the roof, like towards the back of the building?
Lovak?
Where'd you end up? Yeah, can I see Lovak?
I'm in the back of the building.
Yeah, he's in the back of the building on the ground.
So I see him and I'm like, I can see him. Say I can see him over here. I'm gonna jump off the other corner, so I end up on the other, facing the other side of the because
the street is still clear of apes.
Yeah.
There was something that happened down there.
There was a lot of thunderous booming that I heard.
There's a lot of thunderous booming.
So I'm gonna jump off and attempt to slow my fall. I guess I can use some acrobatics to maybe do something. Can't hurt. Can't hurt more. That is a 19 acrobatics.
That'll work.
I've watched Ku do this a few times, so I kind of brace myself on the side of the wall, maybe get my hand on some vines that have grown there, and use those to kind of slide down the side of the wall.
Yep.
So
You make it down undamaged. Quite pleased with yourself.
I am quite pleased with myself. I'll be even more pleased if I can make this goddamn saving throw against fear. That is an 8.
The utility of this feature is starting to look limited. Jeel.
So I saw Tuco take off.
Yes, up the stairs.
Do I see Shynn reappear?
You see Shynn reappear just as the building begins
Is he
to
standing?
quake. Shynn's standing, yes.
I'm going to grab him and run up the stairs.
Make a saving throw first, though.
That rolled a 15.
Take 3 points of damage. Your lungs are burning, coughing, you're gagging. You scoop up Shynn. Do you resist?
Nope. And I'm yelling, you son of a bitch, and I'm running. I'm running using my full 40, then I'm going to dash another 40 off the building.
Ku, are you still on the building?
Ku is still on the building, yes.
So is Tuco.
Jeel thunders by you like a linebacker charging for the goalpost and leaps off the building with Shynn over one shoulder. There is a look of deep concern on Shynn's face as he disappears over the ledge.
He remembers the roll.
Something bad happens every time he hugs me.
You take 11 points of damage as you land on the street. Not very graceful. Lovak, from where you're standing, the sun is momentarily blotted out as you see your blue-skinned friend with Shynn over his shoulder leap off the building. He goes across the narrow street, slams into the building on the other side of the street, and then lands in front of you.
Yes,
And
make a save.
Save and throw.
So does Shynn.
Did they enter within 10 feet of it?
It's still active for a minute unless I drop it.
How far away are they?
I'd have to read it again. I already forgot what I read. Doesn't Bill have it written down?
Yeah.
Am I in the area effect of the shroud?
Is it only people that are in it when it goes up that have to make it?
No, I do not think that was. I think
Instant you transform.
The instant you transform, causing all within 10 feet to make a charisma saving throw or be frightened of you until the end of my next turn. This lasts for 1 minute or until you end it as a bonus action.
No, the way it reads. It seems like it would.
The
It would be,
instant you transform, I would say you would not have to.
Okay.
it is either you're frightened for a minute or the shroud is up for a minute and anybody entering.
I would think anybody entering it has to make the save. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense that it's up for more than an instant burst.
That means
Why?
that the people who are frightened from you at the instantaneous burst remain frightened for you.
That's
No,
not how
Oh
it
no, it's not
reads.
the way it works because they
'Cause
clear
it's
that in
another
the second
turn.
one. So yeah, one turn.
The minute has to apply to something.
Yeah.
It's written in a weird way.
Yeah.
You mean badly?
It's written badly. Yeah.
Make your saves.
I think that's
that's the way it works.
That's
General,
better.
yeah.
That makes more sense, right? I'm
Charisma.
scary for a minute, but if you run away,
I got minus, so 9.
fail.
That's a 14.
Jeel stands up, bolt upright, with Shynn still over one shoulder, and starts backing away with a deep look of concern on his face. He doesn't flee, but he takes a few steps back,
Holding Shynn, making sure Shynn doesn't go anywhere. 'cause
holding him tight,
like a teddy bear.
like real tight, almost like a shield.
Shynn is not scared though.
Can't breathe.
You don't need to.
Stop,
It
drop,
still
roll.
hurts.
I'll let Shynn go.
Who's next?
Lovak, the scary.
I'm going to start heading east at a standard move, look towards Jeel, and say, make sure everyone follows. I'll clear the path.
I don't make eye contact? Okay.
Is that
I'm
it for
going to
Lovak?
walk down the street, sword in each hand, drawing the night's dark upon myself.
Is that the end of your turn?
Yep.
GM.
The apes in the front of the building begin to whoop even louder now. The din had died down, and now it's building up again. You can see shadowy shapes in between the other buildings, swaying, looking like they're summoning up courage, but none of them move out from between the buildings. And then the building shudders again and lurches to one side, caught by the building next to it.
Still up there.
Yeah, and
Tuco.
We're pretty dexy.
Hopefully don't roll like when rolling charisma saves.
It rumbles and it begins to gradually become shorter as the blocks holding it up on the bottom floor are crushed beneath the weight of the upper floor.
Pretty soon you can just step down.
That lets us go with Ku now.
Scary Lovak's in the back. Jeel and Shynn are in the back, and Moulet's in the front.
No,
Yes.
Moulet's in the back.
I'm in
Moulet's
the
in the
back,
back.
yeah.
Okay.
Fire's in the front.
Fire is in the front. Ku will then jump down to the back and just jump down, and whether it's 10 or 20 feet, he's not going to take any damage as recklessly as he wants to fall.
Head first.
And then assess where everybody is. Is Lovak in the direction that we want to go?
Lovak is moving in the direction that you need to go. There's a sense of purpose in his stride.
Then I will make my way to his position, staying 11 feet away from him.
The rest of you see Ku start after Lovak.
Tuco is next. Tuco following behind Ku, but much more cautiously in his descent. I know I'm only at like a floor and a half now, but I'm still going to try to swing over, grab the edge of the lip, and at least scrape my body across the 15 feet so the fall isn't too much. Check out where everybody's standing and try to get together with the party. If they haven't started to move yet, I'll hold action on movement until they start to move. Do I take damage in the fall? In the body scraping on building?
Are you jumping off?
No, I'm turning, hold the lip, drag my hands down the side kind of thing.
Make an athletics or an acrobatics check.
Those are both excellent. +6 either way. 13.
You manage to climb down from the building unscathed.
And then I, like I say, holding my movement, holding that act part of. Can I do that? Can I hold movement till the party?
No.
I can't split it.
You can only hold action.
I'll move in the direction I assume the party's going. Probably like 15 feet. I don't know how much movement I used already.
Don't forget you can dash too. Dash will put you right there.
Yeah, I don't really want to catch up with him.
Oh, okay.
Next in the order is Shynn.
I run over to the alleyway that's in between us and the direction that Lovak went.
You're already in that narrow roadway.
Okay, which way is towards the front of the building? That's the alleyway I want. It's one of the alleyways that goes towards the front of the building that we have to pass.
So you're going to go to the front of the building.
No, I'm going to go to the corner that looks towards the front from the back.
Okay.
So one of the sides.
All right, I see. There is the potential to run into more of those apes, just so you're aware of that.
I'm aware of that. I'm going to keep an eye on the opening of the tunnel. If I see one, I'm going to stop dead and do what I'm going to do then.
You move forward a few buildings in the direction Lovak's going and come to another narrow roadway that intersects with the road that the front of the building's on.
All right, are there apes?
There's apes milling around in the street you're heading towards and the street that's leading up towards the next tier.
Then I will hold action until everybody gets past me, and then I'm going to light the last smoke bomb and throw it behind us as cover.
Next are the pair of 4s. That is Moulet and Jeel.
So at this point, I'm probably Lovak continue to move, so I'm probably, 30, 40 feet from them at this point?
Yes.
So I will just steal myself, shudder again, And then, since we know now that the fear has dropped, I will make my way towards Lovak and the rest. So I'll catch up with... So, Tico, where are you? Like at the midpoint? You were kind of waiting
probably
for
15
people?
feet.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll move up, so I'm between Ku, and I'll be like 5 feet behind Ku. Move up close, prepare to defend the party as needed. That's my turn.
Jeel?
So I can't move in the direction he's in, because he'll be in my line of
Till
sight.
the end of his turn. Oh, no, it was his next turn, but you were frightened before his turn.
No, it's Jeel's next turn. So at the end of this turn, you will no longer be frightened. I think that's the way it reads. I think the target is frightened until the end of their next turn.
It actually says the end of my next turn.
That's weird.
It's really
Yeah,
quite weird.
his next turn.
Oh, and his turn passed.
Yes, because he had a turn between when you were frightened and now.
Then I will slowly make my way up in his direction with a small limp.
Last in the order is Lovak. But Lovak is already passed, so the held action can go off now, because Lovak was leading the party.
Yep.
The last one hits me. I press digitation the smoke bomb and roll it behind us.
There's that wisp of smoke, and then a tinkle of fragile glass breaking, and that narrow roadway between buildings begins to fill up with smoke. The smoke is quite dense. Now you're getting smoke from the smoke bombs that went off on the second floor and from the strychnine bombs, so it is a dense smoke behind you.
Lovak.
I'm going to continue moving forward. If there's anything in the street within 30 feet, I will charge up and try to dispatch it and just keep moving forward. But if nothing comes in the road, then I'm just going to keep moving.
Nothing seems to bother you. You can see the apes, but they look leery of your presence. They look leery of the party's presence. There is a moment where you're walking down the street, watching this weariness in the face of these big silver apes, confident that you're leading your party to safety. But then there is a loud bellow, the loudest bellow you have ever heard. And a statue flies across the roadway ahead of you. And you can see this large, lumbering shape, almost 9 feet tall, muscling its girth through this narrow passage between buildings. Knuckle walks out at the very end of this narrow street and pivots and faces you and opens its great toothy maw and lets out a bellow that you swear shakes the buildings themselves. And that's where we'll leave it this week.
Join us every other week as the Eve's Watch continue their adventures in Perth. Thank you to our patrons. Find us on Patreon to join the executive producers team and support the podcast. Our cast: Bill Robitaille, Louis Aponte, Frank Whedon, Jared Parker, Marcus Holt, Sin Morse, our DM, Scott, and me, Nova. Thank you, our listeners, for joining us every other week.